to you from the Radio for One studios in Franklin, Michigan. Welcome to the Detroit Cast.
Big fan.
A show not just free of charge, but free of FCC regulation.
Thank you for your support of the Detroit Cast.
Oh, there it is.
And without further delay, it's showtime. Please welcome the Detroit Cast. Here are your hosts, Mike and Jay.
Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Detroit Cast, powered by DealsInTheD.com with Mike and Jay. Shalom, people. Hi, Jay. Hi, Jay.
Hi, Mike.
Good day, fine sir. I said good day.
Good day. How are you?
I'm good. A little chilly. I guess not as cold as Florida, Georgia.
I reckon.
Yeah, they're getting hammered there. I've been enjoying the news this morning, watching people like, I ain't never seen this white stuff before. This lady's like, I don't know what to do. They're out there with brooms and stuff, trying to get like ice off their windshields. They just don't.
Would be a trip if you're not used to experiencing it, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to think what the equivalent would be for us. Like, is there something that happens naturally around the world that we just never...
Some crazy earthquake or something? I don't know.
Yeah, they had a little earthquake today in Northern California.
I heard that.
Yeah.
4 point something.
Yeah, enough to kind of just, a little alarm clock for you. Not going to do much. Maybe you pick a picture frame up off the floor. I remember my grandma saying that all the time. Like, she'd have these little racks with little, she collected owls.
Oh,
She'd
boy.
have little ceramic or rock
Tchotchke.
owls. Yeah. And it'd be like every morning I'd just go pick them up off the floor. Put
that's
them back
funny.
out. Yeah, they
Is your
just
grandma
get these,
Beth?
Huh?
Is Beth
No,
your
I
grandma?
know, that's
Are you dating
weird.
your grandma?
I'm not dating my Nana. No, Beth loves owls too. And when Nana
Pulling a
died,
George Bush or something.
when Nana died, it was great news for Beth because she got to
man.
inherit a lot of owl bullshit.
Actually, you know
Yeah.
what? My Nana's husband, my grandpa, loved owls too. I don't know what that was, but
Really?
he loved owls.
See, now you're making me harken back to my kindergarten teacher that stole my owl.
Oh, geez.
Mrs.
that's
Howell.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mrs. Howell. Well, yeah. It's
Don't
kinda-
make me retell that.
It's kind of rough. I'm trying to remember what happened. Her name was Howell,
Dude,
which is why she was into owls, right?
It was show and tell. I
Yeah.
brought this little owl that I spent my own money on at like Hallmark or something. It was just a little tchotchke owl.
Yeah, that's a big deal to you. People need to understand when Jay spends his own money on something.
When I was a kid, yeah. It's hard
even
earned,
when you
dude.
were older, it was like, dude, that was your money.
Yeah.
You earned that. It wasn't like your parents handed you a bunch of money and you.
So I took my owl in, I showed, and I told.
Yeah.
And then I proceeded to lose the thing. I put it in my desk or something.
Yeah.
And then we went to gym, and then it was missing. And it was one of these whole, everybody empty their pockets, and
Yeah.
everybody look for Jay's owl. And
What,
all
you
this
made a
stuff.
big stink of it when you got back from recess?
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like, where's my owl?
Really?
Yeah.
See, I think I would have just buried that and been like, oh, man, that stinks. I guess
No,
someone took my owl.
I had spent my own money, and justice needed to be
Mine.
served.
Yeah.
So then I find out it's on. I went back in Mrs. Howell's classroom like the next year when they have like parent-teacher night. I went back to say hello to Mrs. Howell, and there it was on her desk.
Son of a bitch. How do you know that she didn't,
Her
like,
name was Howell. She loved owls too.
I
all right?
know, but
she
you-
stole it.
you just admitted you not only showed, but you told. And so how do you know she didn't go, I got to get me one of those? That's dope.
Oh no, it was mine.
You
I
sure?
know it was mine.
Or are you one of those kids that, like, your mom put your name on your underwear? Or you wrote your name on the bottom of
big
the owl?
J on the bottom of the owl.
Little J on there. It's like, God damn it, it's got the J.
No, I knew it was mine.
But if I remember correctly,
But
you
remember,
did not
I
at the
didn't
time,
speak up.
You
And
didn't
that-
have the balls.
And it taught me, man,
Yeah.
I will never stay silent again.
Yeah. How old were you? This is second grade?
This was first grade. I was
First grade,
going back
okay.
to see Mrs. Howell in kindergarten.
You only did
so
one first grade.
I did, yeah.
Okay.
I did one of each.
You didn't have hair on your balls in first grade, did
No.
you? No. So, see, you just didn't have the cojones yet at
that I
that
remember.
age. Yeah.
No, I was 6 or 7,
Wow.
you know.
And little Jay at that point was like, I
Stood
will
mute.
never stay silent again.
And you haven't.
I will never let the man keep me down.
Jay is not afraid of an uncomfortable
Or
conversation.
the woman. Mrs. Howell, you bitch, wherever you are.
Oh,
whatever
would you-
crypt you're laying in.
Is she dead? Do you
Oh,
know?
For sure.
Really?
She was, that
Because
was...
if she was alive, wouldn't it be great
Isn't
to
that
call
back
her?
when teachers were
Dude,
like elderly,
exactly.
like they were like
Yeah.
they weren't even sexual in any
yeah,
capacity.
they're not 23-year-old, banging
Yeah.
their students. This
Yeah.
is back when they were elderly, as he said.
You
They
should
were
have seen
buttoned
Mrs.
up.
Hamster. Oh, or Mrs. Hampson, my second grade teacher.
Yeah.
Just a weeble wobble of a woman, you know.
yeah.
Nothing appealing about it.
Yeah, I had Howell, Lachlan, Danley, Beardsley, Beck. Nothing super appealing about any of them.
Conley I would have nailed. Mrs. Conley,
Yeah.
she's the one I thought Mr. Green was going to bang for
sex ed.
Sex ed in 6th grade. Didn't happen, but she was the one.
So going into sex ed class, you're
Yeah.
thinking like the teachers are going to get it on and
Dude,
show us
I
how
thought
it goes.
for sure it was going to be like one of those long bench tables they bring out. You know, it was going to be
Reasonable.
front and center, and it was like, I'm getting to class early. I'm taking a seat right up front. And I swear to God, the vision in my head, for some reason, I didn't even know what sex was. I hadn't been through sex ed yet.
Yeah.
Is she was going to be laying on her back with like her legs open and her vagine at the base of the table.
Oh, yeah.
Because Mr. Green was really tall. He was like, you know, he was like Uwe size, 6'5"
Yeah.
or something, if I remember correctly.
He's gonna walk up,
And he was just going to walk up and undo his pants, and this vagine was going to be laid there, and it was going to be like a learning experience for
Yeah.
all. And he was just going to start
clinically-
drilling. It was going to be clinical. He would be explaining what he's doing. Now I'm here.
Did you figure he might get a blowjob and present like a broomstick to her or anything
Dude,
like that?
I didn't know what a blowjob. It never made sense to me because, as you know, I told it yesterday. You know, the kid with this, you know, with the broom.
Yeah.
He was like, "Yeah, blow me," and the end of it. So no, I wouldn't have had the concept of foreplay or. But I was excited for it, and then when it didn't happen, because the shitty thing was, the 6th grade kids or the kids that went on to middle school, word leaked that that's what happened.
Oh, man, that's cruel.
Isn't that terrible? And so it
Yes.
was like, oh man, just wait. Next year when Connolly gets on that table.
Can
and
you
Green gets in
imagine
there-
being Conley or Green, hearing that and just going, oh my God, the kids think we're going to bang each other. Oh my
the,
God.
the
Was
older
Connolly
students
hot?
are passing this news down to these fucking kids. Just wait, man. Come September.
That is absurd.
And then they never did, and it was a big wah-wah moment.
Speaking
for
of
us all.
another story that came up yesterday of our childhood, E's childhood specifically, his protest at Burger King. That
yeah,
came up
when he went vegan.
and there was an interesting Twitter
not
conversation
vegan,
that
but-
ensued after that, surrounding should we be listening to best ofs? Because interestingly,
Yeah, I heard.
that very story was told in the best
Wow.
of the day before.
Dude, how many times do we have to explain this to people that we don't listen to E when he talks? Like, dude, we've said it 1,000 times. So when he talks, we just kind of
Yeah.
meander off in our own world. You
As
know,
soon as I
It's-
hear that voice, I go 15, 15, 15, 15.
yeah, fast forward. Yeah.
No, I mean here's the concept. Should we be listening to our own best ofs? Wouldn't that be like wearing our own jerseys?
Yeah, it seems a little like, whoa, get over yourself.
Yeah.
I hear you guys.
You don't
I
get
hear your
enough
guys'
of you.
voices enough as it is.
Yeah, get
You
over
think,
you.
Yeah,
You
we're on
think on my
vacation, man.
vacation, I want to hear Jay yelling at me?
Fuck you, E! No, here's the thing, man. I post those, so I do breeze through it and make sure, like, I peruse it, and I do enjoy. I think Joel does a great job on them. And so
he gets a little racist sometimes, doesn't he? Hasn't that been the accusation, anyways? Is that he can find like the most heinous shit we've
Really?
done? I thought I heard that at one point. It was like, we got to keep an eye on this guy. We don't know what he's capable of.
Well, I peruse it, and every now and then I like to listen to his transitions. So every now and then I'll
Yeah.
listen to a bit or something. But it's been a while since I just sat down and listened to a whole thing.
Yeah. Well, he's good. The reason I stopped listening to him was because I trust his transitions.
Yeah.
I trust that his music levels. Like, that was the thing with E. It was like, something would be really quiet. And then the next one would come wailing in. And he'd be like, fuck you, dude. It
Yeah.
was fine. I didn't. And you're like,
And
dude.
when we first started, my mic was fucked up. Remember that?
Yeah,
Like,
oh, yeah.
my level was way low. and
Yeah.
so there was a lot of shit that he had to do to compensate for that.
to fix it. And so once I knew that was like, all right, cool. I know his transitions are good. I'm
Yeah.
good. I don't need to listen to us.
Hey,
Don't
did
even
you
like
mention
us.
that the Detroit Cast is powered by Deals in the D?
I did.
Okay, good.
I believe so.
Hey, our friends at dealsinthed.com make buying or leasing your next new or pre-owned car, truck, or SUV truly fun and exciting. When you choose Zot, you get the best prices, the largest inventories, foosball, fresh popcorn, and some of the hottest salespeople you've ever seen. Not to mention a world-class buying experience coupled with the finest ownership experience possible. Take advantage of all of this at all 4 Deals in the D dealerships. Go to dealsinthed.com.
Very good. Are we going to do lunch with him soon?
Gabara?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You know what? He clarified. Remember, I was questioning whether he was backpedaling on the hottest sales staff?
Yeah, that was a big debate yesterday.
And he clarified it, and it's very clear if you think about it. He's saying, no, Zot Ford continues to have the hottest sales staff in Oakland County.
Right.
The problem is now we're speaking of all of the dealerships, and he's unwilling to say that about all of them.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Are those shots fired, or is that just
I don't
he's
know.
not? I mean,
He's unwilling.
I mean,
No, he's a smart businessman. He only hires hot people. I mean, that's the way Gabara does business. It's the way you should do business. You find the
Quality,
most,
quality.
yeah, you find the hot, like who looks best in a miniskirt, which guy looks fittest, and you bring them onto the team, and you fuck everyone else. The fat guy comes in the door, get out of here. Fat chick, get out. Old, get out of here. And that's the way a successful business is run. And so for him, he doesn't know what the other dealerships are doing. Maybe they're hiring hags.
Yeah.
And so, I think it lends credibility to him. Be like, look,
Very
dude,
much.
I stand by us as the hottest dealership. I'm not going to say that for the rest. Good for him. Did you have fun yesterday, Jay? Like mid-show is when the news broke of this book coming out on Donald Trump where Steve Bannon says all this shit about him. And
Yeah, I didn't watch a ton last night
Yeah.
with the talking heads, but I know one side was very was freaking out, like this was unbelievable news, and oh my gosh, the presidency is doomed, and this is going to be the nail
it's
in
always
the coffin.
doomed.
Yeah, this is going to
Yeah.
be the nail in the coffin, and he will be impeached. And then the other side was there's nothing to see here.
is he
Yeah.
incredible? I mean, what do we know about this
Yeah,
Wolf guy?
they totally were all over this Wolf guy. Yeah, if you're going to believe a word Tom Wolf says,
Yeah.
sure, I guess.
Sure. Michael Wolf, I believe. Is his
Michael.
name. Yeah.
And then the other attack by the right was, well, all they've been doing has been attacking the credibility of Bannon the whole time, and now he's their darling.
Yeah. Now
Which
he's
is
the hero.
Kind of funny, but
Which is what the other side would do
yeah, of
too.
course.
They would. My biggest problem, I think, with Michael Wolff, the writer of this book, is he's a double F instead of a WOLF or an FE.
It's interesting you say that, Mike,
Yeah.
because as I was typing up the show notes from yesterday, I noticed that the double
Yeah.
F. Yeah,
I don't
It's
know.
concerning.
It's very concerning. Like if he's an OLF,
Why do you need it? Why do you need the double F?
Yeah.
It begs the
it
question.
certainly does. And I just go, I don't know that I can trust a double F. Like
You can't.
you want a single F, no E, fine. Single F E, fine. I mean, my mom's maiden name is Wolf, F-E.
Is that right?
Yeah, but when I'm like, this has to be a typo. Who goes WOLFF?
Yeah,
It's
it's
just
odd.
odd. So that's one concerning part
That's one
aspect
strike
for me.
against.
Yeah, as far as credibility goes. I mean, if we're going down that road, a cease and desist was ordered by Trump today.
Awesome.
I don't know what
Talk
that,
about a futile legal action.
Well, if they really do, and I would think that those offices, if you work in the White House, in the Oval, if you're that close, you would have such buttoned up legal teams that would have non-disclosures, that anything
Yeah.
said in this room can't go anywhere. And so a C&D seems like it would go somewhere.
Yeah, but
Or like,
here's the thing, though. Like everything about what we've at least heard about this White House and the transition of it was a fucking mess, right? That
Yeah.
nothing really worked
we expected.
or operated as it did before, because you have a bunch of non-politicians coming into government,
Yeah.
non-government workers trying to find their way. So I wouldn't assume that everything was buttoned down and ready to go.
really, see, I would just think there would naturally be just because of the level of it being what it is.
That's what you
know?
assume. It's not what I assume.
You wouldn't
I
honestly.
don't-
You wouldn't
dude,
assume that
it's
I would
fucking
think,
President Trump. That's the whole point of
I
this
know,
whole thing, man.
but it's not like he walked into an empty house. There's still people and,
Okay.
and
All right, but
protocol, right?
fine.
Wouldn't you just assume? I would just assume at that level, the highest office in the country,
You
in the world.
also assume there would be a bubble that would go around the Capitol
Yeah, I
building, and
did.
missiles would come
Yeah.
out of the ground and shoot down any
did.
airplane that tried to hit it.
I did, and I still think
I don't
that's
know.
the way to
Humans
go.
are humans. We don't know. Why speculate about whether a cease
look,
and desist will
because
work?
that's what
Let's
we
get to the
do.
meat of the story,
That's
Mike. Who
what we do.
cares?
Okay,
The funny thing is that Trump is so.
You are so hard to talk like
Dude, his
gossip
se-
with because of your whole
Well, it's just-
conjecture.
Well, a lot of it just doesn't mean anything. Like, let's talk about the real issue here, Mike.
Yeah,
so,
okay.
maybe they had non-disclosure. Sure, maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. I don't know. What do you think? E, what do you think? Did they? What's your opinion?
Well,
Did they
I
have
would assume
non-disclosure?
they would. It only makes sense.
Yeah.
Actually, I would not assume
What's the
that.
consensus in the room?
Speculation, conjecture is pointless.
What's the consensus in the room?
Meat, potatoes, move on.
Here's what's funny about the cease and desist, dude. He's drawing so much more attention to this thing, right?
Yeah.
I mean, his level of self-awareness is so out of whack, and the ego
It's
that
so
drives this
insane.
dude, it's hilarious. Like, I mean, honestly, I frankly love shit like this, the shit that's going to come out in the book. That's part of the reason I
Yeah.
was looking forward to this presidency,
Yeah.
to hear what a shit show it would be. You know what I
Sure.
mean? And how different. I mean, I don't want the country to implode, obviously. I'm a proud American. I love the country.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I really was interested in seeing a different way.
Yeah.
And so to hear that, oh, wow, CNN lists the top 10 quotes from this book.
Dude.
And they all have to do with them, number one, being surprised that they won, which is not an unreasonable thought. Like, oh, wow, who
it
really
was
thought...
surprising to everybody,
Of course,
and you're a
even
liar
them.
if you say otherwise.
And then the second issue that they keep pointing out is just how, not out of control, but how disorganized things were at first. Well, what would you expect?
yeah, Yeah, that shouldn't be a shock to people.
Yeah.
I guess my trouble with this whole thing is, what is Bannon's move? Like if this is true, let's assume that Michael Wolff, double F, I know, is accurate with his reporting, and he's got these quotes from Steve Bannon. What is Bannon's game here? Like, his fans are turning on him on Breitbart.
Yeah, Bannon's a nut.
Like, is he just nuts? He went on a Breitbart News Today radio show last night. It was like, I love Trump. I still support him in every way. And and it's like, what is like? I just can't figure out what the fucking point of this is.
Egomaniacs, just like rams sitting there knocking their heads together. That's what this whole thing is. And it's funny, man. I mean, even the staunchest of Trump supporters, the guys who go to the rallies and all this stuff and Make America Great Again hats and all that.
Sure.
Like, doesn't everybody know there's a level of buffoonery to this guy that, I mean,
I would hope so.
Are there really people out there that go, God, this guy he's like Jesus. I mean, he's gonna. He is really an unbelievable intellect. I think everybody recognizes, all right, there's a level of buffoonery. Not super surprised that this is what's coming out in the book.
I think there are probably a lot of people, more than you would like to believe, that are just that guy that just, he says it like it is. And they love that about him. And they think he's plenty smart. And I don't know, man. It's obvious if you break down and isolate, like, simple statements from the podium, it's shocking. It's shocking to hear some of the shit that comes out of his mouth. Now, for people that are willing to look past all that, you just go, boy, that was weird.
Well, that's what I'm
and
saying.
Some people think the world's going to end because of it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, even the staunchest supporters, aren't they at most, or at least going, yeah, I know. I knew there was some buffoonery that would come with this.
We do.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. That's a good question. That's a fair question.
Because then it goes to the ultimate question of, what does this book mean to people like that, you know?
I look at it like,
because it doesn't surprise me at all unless there's going to be some real meat about, here they were in the corner discussing with Russians how they could, do this, and this. I don't know that just like telling people that there was disorganization and that these people are basically buffoons is going to shock anybody.
Or his daughter making fun of his hair. I mean,
but you said that I can't wait to read this book, and we need to order that, by the way. It comes out next week, so we should try to get a couple copies of it. But I'm with you, and I'll love this book just as much as I love the old Clinton books, where you read and it's like you're not going to get an official book that's going to tell you about special needs people on the Arkansas governor's mansion lawn doing the Easter egg hunt, and Hillary up there going, when are we gonna get these retards off the lawn so we can get back to whatever, like that, or a lamp to the head to the like those stories come out in these types of books, and so that part of it is always fascinating to me. But yeah, you were talking about the story from CNN this morning, CNN.com, about the 10 most, nice headline, 10 most amazing lines from the new Trump book that we're aware of so far.
Whoa, everybody get ready.
It's like, ooh, what are these going to be?
They're going to be juicy.
Number one here, this is bigger than I ever dreamed of, Trump told Roger Ailes a week before the election. I don't think about losing because it isn't losing. We've totally won.
Yeah.
That's
the number one quote in there.
Well, I don't know. They've just gone 1 through 10.
Maybe not in level of importance. But,
right.
Okay, so this is him.
Let's admit it's an amazing line, though.
This is Trump apparently recognizing to Ailes that, look, even if I lose, we've already won.
Yeah,
I've taken this thing so far.
I've been a bowling
actually,
ball
for him, I think that sounds pretty good.
Like, I know.
For Trump,
it makes him sound somewhat humble, right?
Right.
Like,
I don't look at it as losing. Look what me coming into this world has been able to do as a disruption.
Yeah. And I would
to
agree
the norm.
with that.
I was about to say that.
Lost,
I think we were saying that at the time. Like, dude, he doesn't even need to win at this point.
Yeah.
He probably doesn't even want to win. So that's a shocking and amazing line right there. Number two, the candidate and his top lieutenants believed they could get all the benefits of almost becoming president without having to change their behavior or worldview one whit.
Okay.
Agreed, it's an amazing line.
Amazing.
Amazingly
written.
Of what we know so far. Number three, there was, in the space of little more than an hour, in Steve Bannon's observation, a befuddled Trump morphing into a disbelieving Trump and then into a horrified Trump. The final transformation, suddenly Donald Trump became a man who believed that he deserved to be and was wholly capable of being the president.
So this is Bannon's description of watching him watch the election results come in and go from, like, holy shit, he's befuddled to disbelief to, oh, well, I am the man now.
Yeah. And
Okay.
if you think
Even
about
that.
the time, like, I think that's totally fine. Seriously, because I remember, dude, I'll never forget as long as I live, like, the time when it was like, the results are coming in, and you knew everyone in the country's watching this. And finally, I texted Jay and like, is this really fucking happening? And you and I were laughing our asses off as it was like, this motherfucker's gonna take Ohio. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't Trump be doing the same thing? Every single pundit, expert, everything had him losing by a landslide.
It was all fake news.
And in Trump's defense, he was probably going, I bet the turnout's better than they think. I bet I do a lot better than they think. But nobody gave him a chance.
No.
They were laughing at him.
And
So
is
for him to be like, holy shit, it's really happening. Oh my God, we were doing the same thing.
The criticism then is that Trump didn't realize like that it was going to happen, maybe going to happen. Like, okay, nobody.
to me,
did,
even at
man.
the end, though, but at the end it says like, and then he says what he became like, where he realized that he should be the president or I deserve this, dude. You don't think that was on the other side where the lady wouldn't even leave her room that night because she was so mad that she had lost? So what is the next?
Her eyes were swollen from crying.
So they're saying that he got to a point where he felt like he deserved to be the
There was
president.
enough hubris to go around.
I'll fast forward to some of these. Let's see. Trump could not really converse, not in the sense of sharing information. This is kind of scary. Or of a balanced back and forth conversation.
Yeah.
He neither particularly listened to what was said to him nor considered what he said in response.
But does this surprise anybody? You know what I
No!
mean? I'm not saying that's right. I'm not like, oh, this guy's great. I love President Trump. But is this surprising to anyone?
No. He demanded you pay him attention, then decided you're weak for groveling. You can't win. No, you're right. And there's a very specific reason why.
Because they've
His
hit
name's on
him.
the building.
Well, dude, they have hit this guy every which way. If this was like he had been clean until now, right? Like most presidents, they get the honeymoon and then you go through and the press kind of, treats him, somewhat harshly but fairly at the same time. If that had been the case, then this would be shocking news. Like, whoa, holy shit, this guy can't communicate with people?
Well, I look at it even broader. Like when they say something like he couldn't really converse, not in the sense of sharing information or having a real back and forth. Like you have to have a level playing field. Like Donald Trump has never been on a level playing field. Everywhere he's been since he was a kid has been as the top guy in a company. So nobody can really
You're fired.
have that. And he doesn't have to listen to you. He can call you weak for groveling. He can do whatever he wants. He can say what he wants. He can just boast outrageous
now he can
shit.
do it on a global level.
Yeah. If Trump was not having his 6:30 dinner with Steve Bannon, he was in bed by that time with a cheeseburger, watching his 3 screens and making phone calls.
Again, surprising to anyone?
No.
It's awesome.
It would be surprising if it wasn't that.
I
I
know.
expect he's in bed with a cheeseburger watching 3 TVs. I do.
Dude,
His phone was his true contact point with the world.
surprising to anyone?
No. And I could read the rest, but they're equally as boring and really not amazing, to be honest with you.
Again, it doesn't describe like an ideal president for sure, but it's not like groundbreaking.
Yeah. I guess the
Nor
other thing...
nor is Bannon. Bannon's quote yesterday about the being treasonous, about Manafort and Donald Jr.
Kushner and
Kushner
Yeah.
going to the meeting with Russia. Well, that's Bannon's opinion. I mean, the facts about that meeting will come out, and I definitely want them to. I'm not trying to be on Trump's side at all, but Bannon's opinion on whether they should have done that, whether that was wise, really doesn't mean anything.
It's
I
funny.
think most
It's funny
people would
you
agree
say
it was
that.
unwise.
It's funny you say that because a lot of people hear someone he's in the mix. He would know. He said X, like as if that ends the conversation.
Yeah. Oh, drop
And
the mic.
when
Bannon said it was treasonous.
When you hear lawyers discuss this stuff, they're like, okay, that's Bannon's opinion on something. The discussion doesn't end there. I'm hearing that a lot lately.
Bannon wasn't in the room.
Right. I'm hearing that a lot lately with some of the Hillary stuff, where it's like this attorney with the FBI goes, "Oh, this is outrageous that this is going on," blah blah blah, and then it's like, "Well, look at this FBI attorney. He's saying it's outrageous, and he's never seen this before, and this should have led to blah blah blah." And it's like another attorney will go, "Okay, he's entitled to his opinion. That doesn't mean anything, really."
Yeah.
It's
not finding facts. He doesn't know the facts.
So anyway, I found it interesting. I guess one of the other things that's in the book is Trump believes Kushner is a suck-up. which is kind of weird. I thought he loved Kushner. I don't know if that's true or not. And that they've got that Jared Kushner and Ivanka have a pact together that if one of us runs for president, it will be you, sweetheart. And so she will be the one. If either one of them runs for president,
gross, aren't they?
They are. He's just alien looking. Dude. I don't know. Why does Trump eat McDonald's so much? We learned this as well.
I didn't see that.
He's got a fear of being poisoned. And so for McDonald's, he knows that he can send someone there. They don't know he's coming, and it doesn't give him the time to poison his shit. Yeah. In the first days at the White House.
Actually, that's not a wrong fear, probably.
I know, right?
Like Jay said, there's going to be. I mean, Jay said for a while that he thinks someone might shoot this guy at some point.
Yeah,
so,
really
I mean, would that be a big
Careful
fear?
even saying that, E.
Well,
I'm not saying anyone should.
Right.
that's not what he
I'm
said.
hoping
That's
it
not what I
doesn't
was saying.
happen.
That's not what I was saying.
All I'm saying is when the feds show up at the door, you're dealing with them, not me.
Fine.
And you can't use Jay as your legal. In his first days at the White House, a paranoid president gave a very specific order that the housekeeping staff touch nothing in my room. Don't touch anything. Especially, what was he especially worried that they would touch that he did not want them to touch?
I don't know.
Cell phone.
And this one seems weird to me. I would think this is an untouchable item. It goes without saying.
Hairbrush?
Toothbrush.
Ah, yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Like that should go without being said.
Right.
Like, well, why would anyone touch a toothbrush?
Well, if
Maybe
they're trying
they
to
would dip
poison
in the
him.
toilet. You know, they don't like him. They dip
Yeah,
in the toilet
for sure.
and put it back. But
Doesn't that just call attention to your toothbrush, though?
yes,
You know what I mean?
yes.
Like, if you don't say a word, it probably doesn't happen. Now they're thinking, oh,
Blah blah blah. Let's see. The other thing in here. Bannon said something interesting. He says he continues to advise Trump, and also had predictions about the Mueller probe. You realize where this is going.
Money laundering, right?
Yeah, this is all about money laundering. He chose prosecutor Andrew Westman first, and he is a money laundering guy. Their path to fucking Trump goes right through Paul Manafort, Don Jr., and Kushner. It's as plain as a hair on your face. And lastly, our friend Hope Hicks. She responded to an email of ours, so that makes her a friend. She apparently was banging Corey Lewandowski,
Yeah.
who was married
I
at
think
the
that
time.
was-
Hope Hicks is hot as shit, too.
Is she, though?
Yes.
Mike, stop
Yes.
saying that. You said that
Dude.
several times. She's hot as shit.
She
Can
is.
we reserve hot
Bikini-
as shit
no,
for hot as shit?
For Hope Hicks.
Seriously, man.
Really? You're going to look at Hope Hicks in a
Dude.
bikini and not declare her hot as shit?
You are ridiculous in your hot as shit declaration.
Hot as hell? Hot as fuck.
Just be like, she's a good-looking chick.
Pull her up in a
Oh my
bikini.
God, Hope Hicks is hot as shit.
She was a supermodel on SI?
Yeah.
Okay. Want to make
Yes.
sure this is
Hope Hicks has not been a supermodel in SI.
I don't know.
SI.com. I don't know. Is that not her?
I don't know. There's plenty of Hope Hicks in a bikini, though.
I put Hope Hicks bikini. This is what shows up.
Would you declare that hot as shit or no?
I don't believe that's her. Is that hot? Is that
don't know.
Trump's Hope Hicks?
I don't know. We've got a retard man in the
Bing machine.
The Bing machine today. So anyway, she's banging Corey Lewandowski. Wolf, double F, not F-E or just F, claims in this book that Hicks was upset about Lewandowski's media coverage after he was blown out from the campaign. Trump, who otherwise seemed to treat Hicks in a protective, even parental way, he kind of was a father figure to her or paternal way, looked up and said, so she's bummed out about the way he's being treated in the media. Why? You've already done enough for him. You're the best piece of tail he's ever had. Sending Hicks running from the room. And I was like, dude, that. Can you get a more gentlemanly comment than that? That's like, dude, what a compliment.
It's a great compliment.
Honestly. I mean, if I said to you, what a compliment to Gab if I went, Jay, that's the best piece of tail you'll ever get. What a compliment.
Very high compliment.
I mean, it is. And so I don't know why she ran from the room, maybe whatever, but do you have a problem with that comment? You're going, what's the problem, Hope? Relax. You're the best piece of ass he's ever going to have.
Hey, you have an annual physical to make, are you really asking that? Or?
Yeah.
That's an inappropriate,
Damn it.
stupid comment.
I'm gonna
You have
get
an
fired.
annual physical to make sure that you are healthy. What do you do to make sure you remain financially fit? Mark Leibovitz at LPL Financial specializes in thoughtful and objective investment guidance designed to keep your finances in shape. Call today, 248-626-2000. Ask for Mark. And I would put this in the category, this whole Mark Leibovitz contact thing, as like a new year kind of goal, right?
Okay.
You turn the calendar, and there's shit that you've been meaning to do. You've been meaning to go get insurance. You've been meaning to look into a finance guy. You've been meaning to, put your house up for sale, this and that. This would be in that category of things you should, make a call and get it done.
Securities and advisory services offered through LPL Financial, a registered investment advisor. Member FINRA SIPC.
What was Mira Sorvino in? What was her big role?
Her big role.
Was it American Beauty, or am I getting her
No, she's not in American Beauty.
with,
She was in with the chick from Friends. They were in something like
Jennifer Aniston, or
no, the tall whatever, dude. I wish she would. Maybe we should have looked this up before.
Yeah, no, I guess it doesn't matter. But I looked at a picture before, and I was like, huh. I was thinking that Mira Sorvino was
No, it's not
this
American
girl.
Beauty.
And it's not, and I don't really recognize
You were right.
her.
It was a girl, Phoebe from Friends or whatever. Her.
Oh, okay.
Lisa Kudrow.
Oh, Rami
I
and
remember
Michelle's
that
high school reunion. Okay, all right.
I mean, nothing huge though. That's not
Well, she famously was saying that her career was blackballed because of Harvey Weinstein, that she wouldn't put out for Harvey. She was one of the initial
And
ones.
I think I mentioned during discussion of said mention of Mira Sorvino that her father, Paul, is a longtime Hollywood guy, and I wondered what his response to that would have been.
Yeah. Well, I was shocked that like Paul Sorvino
He hasn't
famously
done much for a while.
No, but he's an OG for sure.
Yeah,
He's a
yeah.
legend. He's Paulie in Goodfellas, right?
Yeah.
He's the boss in Goodfellas. Hey, you got your cherry popped. You know, he's that guy. And yeah, it seems like there's enough there. Like some of the names you heard coming out, like I get it. Fallen Angel gets off the bus in Hollywood from Indiana, thinks she's going to be a star. Next thing, she's hooking on the streets or putting out for some gross old man because it's a lot harder than she thought. I get it. But, dude, when you've got, like, Hollywood family trees,
Yeah.
that's balls, dude, to go after someone like that and try to rape them or, you know, you wouldn't think. But she claims, yeah, he absolutely shit-canned my career. Mira Sorvino says that. And so Paul Sorvino was caught outside Bristol Farms in Wayho the other night. I guess that's California somewhere. It looks like California. And they asked him, TMZ caught him, and asked him what he thinks of Harbinger.
Look at that profile.
Yeah. He looks pretty good, though, right?
Sure.
I mean, Goodfellas came out, what, 25 years ago at least? Looks the same. Go ahead, E.
Your thoughts when you heard about Harvey Weinstein derailing your daughter's career by actively trying to blacklist her from Hollywood?
If I would answer you, I might put everybody in jeopardy. But if I meet him on the street, he ought to hope that he goes to jail, because if we come across, I think he'll be lying on the floor somehow, magically.
Funny you should say that. So today,
Whoops.
let me get that.
Help me there.
Today we actually reported that the DA is making strides.
I got
in their
my money on
case,
Harbinger.
trying
Yeah.
to bring criminal charges to
He's
Harvey
going to go to
Weinstein.
jail.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But you
That's
mean
son of a-
business.
Good for him if he goes, because if not, he has to meet me, and I will kill the motherfucker. Real simple. Have a good one. All right, thanks.
Have a good one.
Have a good
Take
one.
it easy.
So did you know about
He's
any
doing
of these
some grocery
accusations
shopping?
before?
No, I did not.
Did
Yeah.
you learn
Quite a
about
bit.
this like the rest of us did?
It's a weird thinning pattern he's got going on that hair, isn't it?
Yeah.
Sure didn't.
So you just doing a little
what
grocery
was
shopping
your-
in a
Sure.
suit?
Known it,
Dude, this is
he would not. Would you take that? He would not be welcome.
help her with him to grocery.
He'd be in
This
that
is like
same
Paul when he's buying your paper products.
Wheelchair.
Yeah.
Right. What was your
Look at
initial
okay.
reaction
There's a
when you
couple issues with this. Why would he just know about this now? I would think the first call she would make would be to her dad Paul and go, "Oh my God, I'm being fucked over by this Harbinger
Right.
Weinstein." You know, like why did it take years and years of her career being dead?
Good question.
Secondly,
That's a good first question, Mike.
yeah. Secondly, the he's talking a big game there. I mean, yeah, he's Paulie from Goodfellas. He's I'll kill the motherfucker.
Dude,
you know that kind of thing.
Harbinger would take his ass to Chinatown.
Yeah, we know Harbinger is kind of a hothead. That's what we know about him. Not much of a fuse, short fuse. And let's be honest, dude. He dropped his pen there and
Yeah.
asked for help.
Celebrity boxing,
You know?
up next, huh? Paul Sorvino, Harbinger Weinstein.
Yeah, I don't like it. He's got to defend his daughter, but he needed help. Like he turned to that guy and was like, "Hey, can you help me load this?"
there's
And
no
then
way.
he couldn't bend down to pick up his
Yeah,
pen.
talks a big game.
Now he's gonna kill the motherfucker.
I hope he's packing.
Yeah. Anyway, Dan Harmon. A lot of these things are kind of weird me out. You know Dan Harmon, right? He's the main.
Yes,
Rick and Morty.
Yeah, Richard and Mortimer.
Yes. And so there was another writer. I guess he came out at 2018 and was like, "Hey, the year of the asshole is over. I want to be a better person going forward." And so this Megan Gantz, she was a writer on Community, worked with them for a while, and was like, "Care to be more specific? Redemption follows allocution." And so apparently this guy was a total dick fuck to her, treated her like shit. And I don't know, there's something about this where I'm like, I'm reading these tweets back and forth between the two of them, and I'm just going, just pick up the phone, man. Why am I sitting here reading this? This is
Great way to settle something.
Yeah.
On Twitter.
What is the point? Is it like, I'm going to make this great statement on Twitter?
I don't know. You've done
People-
this. You've engaged in Twitter warfare.
But he doesn't have the number probably of the person
I
he's
know,
talking
but what's
to.
the thought process behind it?
well-
You're going to win?
I don't mind yelling at a 16-year-old band member who's going to teach me the what for about politics. Fuck him. But this stuff, like if I had a legitimate fight with you and we're yelling at each other and then we go our separate ways, the last place I'm going to handle that is like on Twitter. And then I can't imagine you coming back and going, oh yeah, well when you did this, blah, 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 and us going back and forth. And that's where it's like, is this just weird? What is the incentive for this? Because it seems like a phone conversation between the two would go much further than trying to make this brilliant statement in 240 characters, you know? And you see they're talking 280. They're talking at 5 o'clock in the evening and 3:10 in the morning, 2 days later, they're wrapping it up. It's like, dude, this was a 5-minute phoner. This is no big deal. So anyway, can you be more specific? And he says, I didn't want to add narcissism to injury by naming you without permission, but I've talked on my podcast about the lines I've crossed. I will talk about it more in any way that you think is just. I am deeply sorry. I'm filled with great regret and a lot of foggy memories about abusing my position, treating you like garbage. I would feel a lot of relief if you told me there was a way to fix it. I'll let you call the shots. Till then, at least know that I know I was an awful boss and a selfish baby. Now I'm like, all right, well, what did you do, fucker, you know? And Megan writes back, I wish my memories were foggier. I wish there was a way to fix it. It took me years to believe in my talents again, to trust a boss when he complimented me and not cringe when he asked for my number.
I mean, from her perspective, she has him on the ropes right now. Why not make this public?
Yeah.
You know, he's like, oh, I'm
But it's-
sorry, I was so bad. And she's like, fuck yeah, you were.
Yeah.
I remember it very clearly. This is what you did, asshole.
My
know what she
next
does
tweet,
right
when
there?
she does that and she doesn't go, oh, it's okay, I got over it a long time ago, it took some therapy, but you're a big man for recognizing it, I appreciate that. If she doesn't say that and she's like, yeah, especially you were a dick face, at that point it's like, hey, you still have the
Shut
same
it down.
number? You still got the same number you did 4 years ago? I'm going to give you a buzz really quick. Like, that's it.
Dude, when she says there, though, about the talent, like, it took years later to, like, feel good about my talent or feel... Dude, that writing, and if you're trying to do comedy in rooms like that, like, I know I haven't done it, but when you're doing something that's like that, artistic or humorous, dude, it can be... Like, if he was just being a dick to her, just like, nope, not funny. No, nope, you're stupid. This isn't good. You know what I mean? Like, that could really...
Yeah, I want to know what he was doing, too. I want to know, like... what that means. But
Like,
he
was she
sounds like
writing jokes over-
he's openly saying I treated you like garbage.
But still, dude, if that was her job, and then years after she's in rooms and it would just be a fucking bitch, man.
Yeah, I mean, superiors can destroy subordinates.
Oh, yeah.
Just by,
We've all worked
just
for
with-
one of those guys, right?
yeah, just complete assholes can really set you back, make
Yep.
you wonder about your own talents. And
You want relief? So do I. I want to watch the first episode of TV I wrote again without remembering what came after. Figure out how to give me that relief, and I'll return the favor, she says. And then she says, I haven't listened to your podcast, but I don't think the walls are the answer. I guess he said something about,
it's just a big promo for his podcast or what?
maybe. He's like, I put up walls now to protect myself from, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, yeah, unless you put them up with male coworkers too. Otherwise, you're falling into the Mike Pence School of Gender Relations that says men can't be trusted with women's phone numbers. But if I can offer this, it's good to recognize power dynamics, but it's also good to recognize you're no different from those you employ. You're not king on the hilltop, not a beast in a labyrinth. Isolation isn't always best. Connection breeds empathy. Empathy allows growth. And he's like, good point. I mean, I started handcuffing myself to radiators like a werewolf. I mean, I stopped letting the lines between colleague and relationship be so undrawn that anyone in the vicinity of those lines or anyone that loves the show is beholden to a man-child's feelings. And that's when I'm like, why am I reading this? Like, this isn't my discussion.
Yeah.
This doesn't shock me at all. There's a Netflix special called like Harmon, and it's based on his podcast, and he goes and does a live show, and it's actually pretty It's like I think it's worth watching, but he's definitely, he's a drunk
cocksucker.
He's a drunk. He's very egotistical. The things on Community. When we talked to Ryan Ridley about Rick and Morty, and when he said why it was taking so long, I didn't want to interject or anything, but he was Harmon was kicked off Community, and it was because he was such a perfectionist and he couldn't freaking stick to a schedule. He couldn't get episodes on time, or they'd be like, "Dude, just write a fucking episode. How about that?"
Yeah.
I didn't bring it in then, but I'm just saying that because I wasn't going to say that to Ryan necessarily, but that's doesn't shock me about Rick and Morty.
Between the lines, Ryan might have agreed with you.
Right?
He's sort of like, I don't know why these things take so long.
Right.
Yeah. Well, apparently, unbeknownst to us, and we're kind of dipshits in this way, that was kind of breaking news, what he said on our show. That was kind of a big deal. Him announcing that there was not going to be Rick and Morty.
Oh, I thought it might be.
Yeah. It's been picked up by quite a few outlets this morning. And Vice.com picked it up.
Cool.
And ran it with links to our podcast.
Oh, very good.
And so I'm reading this, and it's like, according to a recent radio interview with the Detroit cast, Rick and Morty writer said that the wait for season 4 could dwarf the year-and-a-half hiatus between second and third seasons. Ryan Ridley told the host that as far as he knows, none of the show's writers, including Dan and Justin, have even started working on it yet. And then he's got quotes from them, from Ryan and stuff, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty fucking cool. Mm-hmm. So I look at it. It's then been picked up by MarySue.com.
Let's cut to the chase. Is our lives about to markedly change for the better?
I don't know, dude, but CinemaBlend.com picked it up with links and everything to our interview.
Cinema Blend.
Conbini.com, Polygon.com, Joe.com, HotNewWhipHop.com.
Conbini.com? He doesn't even know where the Conbini is.
He doesn't. Altpress.com. The Nerdist picked it up this morning.
Oh, sweet.
Dude, the fucking Nerdist is a monster. Slash Film, Den of Geek, Uprocks picked it up a couple hours ago. IGN, Digital Spy, Junkie, Player One, International Business Times out of Australia. Huh? With links to our show.
Do they know? They know the
as
band?
far as Rick and Morty news, you ever heard of this thing called Google? We were the #1 link at Google
How
today.
about Bing? Where we ranked on Bing?
I don't know. That's the fucking
I'm not
dream.
really interested in Google.
Dude, isn't that kind of hilarious
That's really
that
cool.
we got picked up by and it's like, if you go on there right now and search Rick and Morty news, you can look, and it's, dude, every 15 minutes another major outlet is picking it up.
It was all about him saying, though, that as far as he knows, there wasn't a don't get ready. There's
got
not
one
an
of the
episode
main
coming.
producers, writers just going, I have no idea.
We probably have to, like,
Are we going to have to do press now, Mike?
well, you and E can. I don't have the time. I don't have time for the Nerdist, Uprocks, Vice, please. No, I feel like this has happened a couple times where, oh yeah, we got that scoop from the horse's mouth like 2 weeks ago. Why is that such big news now? And we don't recognize it, like we don't brag about ourselves enough and put it out there. And apparently we should have known that was going to be of interest to people. And it is today.
The fact is, it's of interest to people today, so that's good.
Yeah. But Ryan could have done 4 interviews since ours and said the same thing.
He must not have, though.
Some other Dick Faces podcast gets the credit.
The reality is he must not have. But I know what you're saying for other times, maybe. But not for this time. If he had, then it wouldn't be out there right now.
Dude, I guess Dan Harmon said something along those lines. He gave a quote to Entertainment Weekly. And so it's like Dan Harmon told Entertainment Weekly with a hyperlink, and Ryan Ridley told the Detroit cast with a hyperlink. It's like we're matched with Entertainment Weekly.
You know.
And we're bigly. It's all bigly.
God, now I'm nervous talking to all these new people who are listening.
Yeah, right?
Hey, Hamlin Pubs is inviting you to their 5 Metro Detroit locations. Come enjoy Hamlin Pub's great food, drinks, and atmosphere. Whether you're watching the game with your buddies, out for a meal with family, or out for an evening with your girl, it's always a great time at their Rochester, Clarkston, Chesterfield, and 2 Shelby Township locations.
Guy from India. You never want to start a story like that, do you? You just don't. It's just...
There's either a tumor, a fucking crazy tumor that the monkey god sent,
Yeah.
or... it's bad. It's going to be bad.
It's not good. A man from India is accused of sexually assaulting a 22-year-old woman
Yeah, I read this
while
one.
she slept against a window on a flight from Vegas to Detroit.
Vegas to Detroit. He didn't want to let the party end.
Beautiful name, too. Beautiful name. Prabhu Ramamoorthy.
Got it.
Oh, Prabhu.
Definite dot, not father.
Prabhu.
Oh, Prabhu.
Prabhu. So he appeared in district court in Detroit after the Spirit Airline got a Spirit flight from Vegas to Detroit. Wow. That's going to stink.
Oh, sorry, some of us can't fly the fucking high ends like you can, Mike.
my point only is that
It's going to be a lot of farts.
It's going to smell like stale beer and farts. Spirit Airlines, I love them. They're cheap. They're a cheap flight, and if you're partying your balls off in Vegas to the point that all you can do is a $200 flight home from Vegas, it's going to stink a little bit. That's all. So it's bad enough, you know. So she reportedly said that she fell asleep. Prabhu, what are you doing, Prabhu?
Well, what's he supposed to do? She's a good-looking girl.
Yeah.
She's there. I mean,
that's what I thought. Prabhu,
what else?
Piece of meat, right? He just reaches over.
She wakes up to a hand in her pants and noticed that her pants and shirt were unbuttoned.
What a dick.
Prabhu, what are you doing, Prabhu?
What is your end game, man?
I know.
What do you think is going to happen? She's going to wake up like, oh, wow, I'm so glad you started touching me. Let's finish this. What is he thinking?
The man was shoving his fingers in her genitals and vigorously moving them.
Prabhu.
Oh, Prabhu. When she fully woke up, the man stopped. Was he like, hey.
Well, that's a
we should be on the ground
That's
in
a
an hour?
problem.
For Prabhu?
Yeah.
Oh, Prabhu. I can't. That was a bad wordplay right there. That was bad. Prabhu was arrested. She immediately runs and tells the flight attendants, "Oh my God, Prabhu fingered me, and I got to get out of here." And
I
she's
wonder in his
crying.
mind, like, you know, she wakes up, whatever, and like now she starts running, and is he just instantly like,
Oh
shit.
fuck!
shit.
He admitted to a lot of it.
Yeah.
But
maybe
still, like,
maybe
in
the
the-
thought is when you're in that moment, because we've seen it. We've seen the guy jacking off on the bus, and he can't be bothered. He's in the zone.
Blinders on.
Blinders on. He's like a horse, and people around him are and all he won't. He's not hearing shit. Nothing's coming in clear,
Yeah.
and they're going, "Oh my God, are you really going to keep jacking off right in front of me? I see what you're doing." And then the second that seminal fluid starts shooting out of the tip of his dong,
The seminal vesicle erupts.
it goes, are you really going to keep doing that in front of what?
What? Huh?
He comes to.
Yeah.
I mean,
Not a selfish lover.
right. And so the only thing I can think is in that guy's head, in Prabhu's warped head in that moment, maybe he's trying to rationalize like, she's got to be into this. I know if I woke up from a dead sleep and some chick was just jacking me, I'd be cool with that.
Is there an allegation that he's jacking himself?
That's the thing. It doesn't sound like to me that there's.
What is the end game?
Prabhu.
they don't
We've
say
talked about this
but-
many
Oh,
times.
Prabhu.
A dude has to blow for this to be at all exciting,
Prabhu.
unless he's got an incredible bank.
The bank doesn't matter, dude. I have a bank, dude, that I go to regularly, and that is not the
enormous.
same, dude.
Your vault is decades old.
That is not the same.
Is it terrible? I know this is going to sound fucking awful because it doesn't matter. But when I was 22, flying home from Vegas, like I kind of want to see how hot she is. Like if Prabhu was like, I'm never going to be around a girl this beautiful. I cannot help it. I need to grab her titty. Like I don't know.
The
Not
other
that
si-
it makes it right.
The other side of the coin, is she more upset when she finds out his name is Prabhu?
Probably.
Is it like,
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't work.
It does.
it?
It's hard. Yeah. Prabhu, please, Prabhu. So he told an FBI agent that it's possible. I might have undone her bra while playing with it. Prabhu, you're not supposed to be playing with her bra, Prabhu.
Dude, if you acknowledge at all that you have touched this chick, game over.
Yeah.
Game over.
I know, it doesn't
He's
matter
thinking,
whether-
well, I might
Yes, I might have touched her bra
like
when
you're
I was
gonna
playing with
lessen,
it.
You're going to lessen this. But,
Yeah,
play
but
with the bra.
in India, is it that big a deal to sexually assault a woman?
No, not at all.
See, you got to put in context. He was playing with her bra. I maybe cupped her breast. He said. He also indicated
Maybe.
that
Not even funny.
I
I
unzipped her.
can't even remember. I cupped so many breasts. I can't
Yeah.
remember if it was hers or someone else's.
He did say that he unzipped her pants part way, so not all the way.
Okay.
He just went halfway with the zip, which is better than a full way, right?
Don't you love how these stories, and it always happens like this, where there's some guy trying to lessen it. It was just,
Yeah.
it was part way. I only cupped the breast over the bra.
Clothed. It was clothed. It was a clothed titty.
Isn't that
That's what he
hilarious?
said. Yeah.
This
Yeah.
backpedaling, like, oh, it was only, it
Yeah.
was still clothed.
Dude, the
You're
reasoning
grabbing a breast of an innocent
cupped,
chick sitting next to
wait,
you,
clothed.
sleeping on a plane.
Yeah. Well,
Oh, go.
we have in his mind he's got to be going, Well, yes, I am a monster. I am a monster, but
Does he think with an accent?
It's a
Does he
clothes
think
bra.
Does he think with an Indian accent in English, or does he think in Indian?
Good point, Mike.
I don't know. I don't know what he thinks, but if are you saying that he's getting some bonus points for having the dot or something?
No,
Or-
No,
dude,
Mike's
you just
asking-
described what he was
they-
thinking.
Oh yeah, I'm describing what I think he's thinking is like.
And I'm
yes, I'm a
wondering-
monster, but it's better that it was clothed than
Saying that you
unclothed.
should be speaking Indian.
It's remarkable that
Yeah.
he thinks in English with an Indian accent.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Why?
I wonder if he considers it even an Indian accent.
Probably not. Well, yeah, he would think in an Indian accent, right? If
He'd probably think in Indian. And if not, he'd think in English without an accent. Why would you think with an accent?
I don't think with an accent if I'm in
That's the point. I
France.
think that's
like,
his point.
but then he would think like this. No.
Move on.
All right. Oh, Prabhu. He says he did put his fingers in in her pants.
But
I tried to put my finger inside the vagine, but I was not successful. It did not
do
work.
it. I never penetrated that vagine.
He gave a written statement, and this is really the only move Prabhu's got at this point. I mean, why not throw it at the wall and hope something sticks, right? That's all you can do at this point. I mean, you've admitted to a lot of horrible things, but if in your written statement you go, "I was in deep sleep. I was in horrible deep sleep."
He's doing the freaking minivan USA defense of just I didn't remember. I don't remember anything.
That worked out well for
Yeah.
Minivan, right?
No.
I was in deep sleep. The woman fell asleep on my knee. I'm not sure where I kept my hand on her.
How offensive,
Well,
man. If you're this
Yeah.
chick, have this dude claim he was like sleepwalking essentially,
Yeah.
and that it's
Sleep
somehow
fingering more
her
than
fault,
anything.
like she fell asleep on this dude's lap. Sure.
Yeah.
Give me a break. This 22-year-old chick just wants to go home. She's sitting there next to this gross
Hung
guy.
over from Vegas.
Ugh.
She's already on a Spirit flight. No offense.
I know. I agree. Having said that, I just
Yeah. No, that's awful. And Prabhu is not a citizen, and so I don't know what they do with him if they just ship him across. Put him in a fucking animal
That's
crate.
racist.
And what?
I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
Ship him international. He's not a U.S. citizen, so he could request that the government notify his home country. Please call my home in
Wow,
India.
so
They'll
when he
go,
goes over there,
what is
nothing will
problem?
happen?
He fingered girl on plane
Dude.
who was passed out. What is problem?
We should treat him like a citizen. He's here. We should treat him like a citizen. Dude, if he gets shipped over, nothing will happen.
I know.
They'll just probably laugh about with his
He'll probably get
boys
a
about-
hero's welcome back home. You know,
Right.
not even that big a deal. And so he could request that they notify the home country to help him with legal representation and contact my family. Please call my wife. Let her know what happened. Oh, Prabhu.
Well, his wife won't be able to answer the
Prabhu.
phone unless there's his son that gives her permission to or something.
He's not Muslim-y.
I don't know.
Let's take a break because it's about to get heavy in here.
Oh no.
Yeah. Apparently, women go into jail, and this story is specifically out of the UK that I saw. There's a real problem with tampons, and some women have been left to almost just bleed out in jail.
Oh,
yeah,
Mike.
yeah, I know. It's a terrible thing, but I feel like we have an obligation to discuss that stuff and make people aware of some of the hardships going on out there.
We'll try. We'll
And
do
then,
our best.
And then, if we have time, I really want to get back to India again for another story.
More importantly, however, it's this day in history with Big E.
Oh, that's right. E, are you ready?
Yeah, sure.
Visual aids ready to go
There are
because
some I am a
visual
aids.
I'm a visual learner. E.
There will
are.
be some visual aids.
Yeah.
Okay.
We'll do that and more next.
The Detroit Cast continues after this short break.
Hi everyone, this is Kelly Menino, your event coordinator for the Hamlin Pubs. Did you know that Hamlin Pubs offer 2 private rooms at each location, both located in Shelby Township? We specialize in all kinds of events, from bridal and baby showers, dinner rehearsals, to corporate luncheons and wedding receptions. My team is committed to making your occasion your most memorable event. Give me a call today so that we can plan your next event. Call me at 586-596-1425 or visit our website at hamlinpubs.com.
The Detroit Cast continues now, bitches. Here's Mike and Jay.
All right, welcome back to the Detroit Cast, powered by DealsInTheD.com with Mike and Jay.
Hey everybody, please use our affiliate links. You'll see our Amazon and Groupon links above the fold at DetroitCast.com. Click on them and shop away. It doesn't cost any more to shop through them. Key is that you click through our links, however. Also, make sure you're using MyPillow.com for all your betting-related needs. Use TDC code for the very best discount there on MyPillow.com.
We'll get to E's History Day in a moment here, but when I read the title, women are being left to bleed out, quote, when they have their, in police cells, a watchdog group is saying. I couldn't help but read on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I just had to. I'm so
That is
fascinated
a
by
catchy tag there.
It's one of those things that it's like, dude,
Clickbait, baby.
don't fuck around that time of the month. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to end up in a cell.
Sounds like it.
Yeah. And so they mentioned this woman, Joanne, sitting in a cell in South London, and all of a sudden, you know who showed up? She panics, asked to speak with a female cop. No one was available. No cop was. There was a man on duty that told her that. So she finally summons up the courage to ask him. She was left to wait for 20 minutes while she's just bleeding out all over her clothes. You know what I mean? And then she's like, you just don't have 20 minutes. Once it starts, it's just, it's on.
Ovum flowing.
A second male officer eventually brought her a sanitary towel with a snigger. And I was
Wait,
like,
what?
I don't.
A sanitary towel
Yeah.
with a snigger.
Yeah, and I was like, I don't think you're supposed to use that word anymore. You know
don't-
what I mean? Yeah, I was just like, wow, that's just snigger, please. You know what I mean? What is a snigger?
Oh, I thought you said Snickers.
No, a snigger. Well,
It's
then
a,
get out of the doorway, snigger.
Oh, it's a smothered or half suppressed laugh.
That's a word to know how to use.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, look at
Yeah,
this guy
like-
giving me a snigger over here.
Yeah, it's like niggardly, you know?
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like-
Throw that around.
I put the H on it to like emphasize the snigger when I say it. You know what I mean? Like I don't even want to get into that world.
I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be a word to know, I suppose.
So
you
he
want to be
brings
an
her
asshole. You know what I mean?
A sanitary towel with a snigger.
It's funny,
which is
man.
A giggle.
That must be the UK version of Snicker.
Yeah, yeah.
Just give me a
Yep.
Snicker.
I see what they did. They just you don't just throw the S on the front of it and think that you can get away with it. Anyway, I was made to feel stupid. Her ordeal was 12 years ago, but little has changed since then for women held in custody. A group that inspects police station cells across the country has told BuzzFeed that women are being left to bleed out without protection in cells around the UK because provision is inadequate or they're too ashamed to ask. Well, that second part, that's on you. You know what I mean? Like, if you're too ashamed to ask and you instead choose to just bleed out on the floor, I mean, whose fault is that? You know what I mean? Anyway, women have been recorded on closed-circuit TV while changing tampons and left unable to wash their hands or even shower for days. That's a problem. And so this Independent Custody Visiting Association, or the ICVA, it's a home
Hold on,
office.
is this like really separate from using the toilet? You know, they say, oh, they were caught on camera. Like, well, are they on camera using the toilet too? Because they have to do that while in custody,
Well,
right?
I think a lot of times they'll have like its own TV show in the waiting room of a police station. They'll have like in-cell stuff, and they don't pixelate. That's what it sounded like anyway. So there could be a lot of people there standing around just kind of watching you like
What?
unplug and replug and
are you
all that
talking
kind of
about?
thing. That's what it said. And so they don't blur these things out, and so it's a big deal.
So you can just watch inmates go to the bathroom too?
I don't know.
I've always been under the impression of that. Like in those cells, there was kind of just shitters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you saying? There's a TV screen that people can walk in a police station in the UK and just watch?
Yeah, or the
And
police
just snigger
station
to themselves?
Yes, exactly. Maybe it's not just to the public. Like it's not being broadcast out on the street, but it's in the police station. There's a lot of cops
So
and,
the
and
jailers
yeah.
maybe
other
need
people.
to see the closed circuit, right?
Yeah, but then people are being booked, and it's like they're sitting there like, oh yeah, look at that chick just going,
Okay.
and then popping one in, And so this group has written an open letter today to the Home Office calling for a conduct review, and they want to change stuff because over in the UK they've got about 150,000 women that were arrested in 2015 and 16. There was not much opportunity to speak to female officers. They were not automatically given these hygiene packs, and sometimes when they were, they'd hand them
Isn't it a known life hack? Like, can't you just take your finger and wind a bunch of toilet paper around it and shove it up there? Didn't we do a story about that? Like homeless women, what they do?
Yeah,
they go to like McDonald's, grab a bunch of napkins and stuff.
Yeah,
not ideal, obviously.
Well, I think
but
it
again,
matters.
if you have access to a bathroom, a toilet, then you should have access to an attempt to stop this quote bleeding out. And moreover, it's not life-threatening. They're not really bleeding out.
Yeah.
Messy, yes.
I wouldn't think, anyways. I mean, I don't know
that
about
a plug saves your life.
Well,
it just mops it up.
Yeah, I don't.
Is it dehumanizing? Yeah.
Yeah,
but
a little
again,
bit.
if you have access to a toilet, what are we even talking about here?
Yeah. Well, sometimes the guys, it's kind of like the chick that was going up in space, and they were just like, I don't know, she's going to be there for 4 days. Give her 1,000 of them. You know, like guys don't know.
NASA nerds.
And so some chick gets up the courage finally to go, all right, I need a tampon. And the guy's like, ugh, fuck. Here's a napkin, and here's 2 thin sanitary plugs, and throws them in her. And he doesn't know, like, she's on a Supermax flow at this point, or if it's a slow drip or an open faucet. Like, he doesn't know.
Yeah.
And she's like, what am I supposed to do with these 2 measly thin things? Like, it doesn't work. I've got a real disaster going on down here, and guys just don't know.
So you gave her 2 of them. Can you insert 2 at a time? 2 at a time
sure.
plus a napkin? That would seem to take care of anything.
Yeah,
right? Even
sure.
the heaviest of flows.
I would think. But some of those Supermax flow ones you see, you know, like I snigger every time I walk by them in the grocery store aisle. It's like Supermax. Look at that boobs. And so yeah, they'll just give them a pack with a tampon, a towel, and a wipe. Yeah, go clean yourself up, doll.
What's wrong with that?
I know. Let's see. There was Gabby.
If you have been thrown in jail, you must have done something wrong.
They're obviously guilty, or they wouldn't be in jail.
That's righty.
We've done our job.
I mean, they've been arrested.
Right.
They must have done something.
So some of the older cells, they say, don't have sinks in them, though, and so these girls can't wash up. If they're in, if
I
you're
just don't see
bleeding
this
out for
highly
a day,
distinguishable from having to use a toilet. If there's toilet paper there, I mean, at some point you got to think, I am thrown in jail. This isn't going to be ideal, but
Yeah.
I might have to jam some toilet paper up there.
all right. Well, you get arrested on Friday night, and they don't see you till Monday, and you've got a couple days there where it's a bummer. It's a
Yeah.
real bummer.
So I'm told.
Yeah.
I was told twice that by you.
Well, here's one that sucked. There was this young chick. She was deemed at risk of self-harm. And so they placed her in a paper suit for her own protection.
She was forced to use her own paper suit, upper vagine, to soak it up.
Tampons were deemed to be a choking hazard. And so she was left to just bleed into her paper bag, into her paper suit. And I was like,
Hey,
I mean,
if you're to the point where you have to be put in a paper suit,
Yeah.
sorry if you're not going to get a tampon handed to you.
well, they wouldn't even give her panties because they felt that the elastic was a choking hazard.
My
The
God.
elastic in her
That's
thing.
different though, because there is a real thought process. That's not totally just being an asshole or a guy being like "fuck you." That shouldn't get thrown into with this, in my opinion.
And what's the problem with just bleeding out into your paper suit? Honestly. Like,
It's not like you're going to try to keep your paper suit, right?
No.
Oh, that's the paper suit I wore in jail back in 2014.
Yeah.
I love that paper suit. I'm not going to wear that out partying, you want to take care of that, but that paper suit.
Here's
is
what I would
special.
do, ladies. If you run into this situation and it's like, okay, they're being dicks. I've got a massive flow and they're not recognizing it, and they've given me these 2 measly things. I chuck those in the toilet and I just pull my pants down and I squat in the middle of the room and I just start draining out on the floor, and I just drain
That'd
out.
be a statement.
Drain out, and I'm just standing like this, like, yeah, what's up, guys? And they come back and they're like, what the fuck are you doing? It's like, oh, I'm draining out. Sorry, you didn't leave me much option. You didn't even give me a paper suit, and so I'm draining out.
That would do one of 2 things. One, they don't want to have to clean that up because someone will kind of
would
probably
send
have
a
to clean
message.
it up. 2,
Really would.
You see that once, dude. You see one
Never
girl with her
forget it, right?
vagine just
Yeah.
squatting and bleeding out. You're gonna have some tampons on the hand and just be like, okay, here you go.
Dude,
I'm
never
still stuck
again.
on the vision of a paper suit like on a hanger in a closet,
I didn't even know they made paper suits. And what kind of?
I wonder if it's like the paper that are on like an examination table at a doctor's
kind of
office.
what I was
Probably,
thinking.
yeah, with the ass open.
No. I'm talking about the paper that's on the examination table of a doctor's
Right,
office.
that's what I was kind of thinking.
Yeah, okay, not the paper one the gown you wear.
No, I'm not
in
talking
there.
about the gown. I'm talking about the paper on the examination
they, like,
table.
It looked
draw
brown.
out
It
and-
looked like a brown paper bag that someone like cut out, like Sweet Pie would make in arts and crafts. Like cut out some shorts and a top, and you just wear that and drain out into it. I don't know. My thought was, if that's the deal, though, okay, say we've got a woman, and she's having this problem, but there's self-harm thing. We can't give her panties. She's going to choke to death on the elastic in them. Fair enough. The tampon, that could be, what did they say, a choking hazard as well? Was that or a hanging thing? Was she risk of hanging herself because of the...
I think you told us it was a choking hazard.
Choking hazard. Okay. If that's the case and Officer Walters is there, dude, I don't mind going, all right, sit down. I'm going to plug you in. I'll pop it in there, and then I'll just sit and watch and make sure she doesn't start eating her tampon. You know what I mean? If that's what I got to do,
Then just slap it away?
Yeah,
If it goes up toward the mouth,
slap. Get out of there. You're not going to choke it. Not on my watch. Not on my
You know
watch.
how quick she'd have to be?
Dude.
You know, you could just sit there like hand
Yeah.
ready, hand up by your mouth, and just bam!
Don't even
bang
try
it away!
Don't even try it.
Bam!
Whack. I think I could do that move too. If she did get it in her mouth really quick, like if I was dozing off for a second, which I'm known to do. If she did and I caught her and she's like, clearly it's in her mouth, I'd do what I do with a cat and grab her by the scruff back here where they can't move
Yeah.
anymore. And just grab her by that fur on the back of her neck and then get in there and pull it out of there. Wouldn't let her choke out, you know? Hook it.
Index finger just hooking, pulling.
I just didn't know this was such an issue.
No, me either.
They should be
Not
offered.
sure it is after talking it through. I'm not sure it's a super big issue.
Well, I guess they said that real change can begin only if politicians are able to talk more openly about periods.
Well, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, dude, they're still wearing the wigs, aren't they? They have the white wigs on and shit.
Yeah, those guys in the wigs sitting there. I mean,
Those sons
they
of
can do the
bitches on
voice,
C-SPAN
like,
and in
the
Parliament.
tampons.
Oh.
Here's what one of the women said, and I think she's part of Parliament. You want to read that, Jay? It's the last two lines there.
We need to use the word. They need to use the word vagina in Parliament. That's
no,
not going
that's
to work.
no. Come on.
We need to use the word vagina in Parliament
Oh,
and talk
gross.
about periods and not be embarrassed.
Disgusting.
It should be made into law that this has to be offered as a basic human right to
She's
women
a
in
witch.
custody.
She's a witch. What's that bleeding for?
That is a you problem, madam.
Hey, New Year is here. Zott Ford wants to kick it off with a bang. For this week only, take $1,000 off every single pre-owned car, truck, or SUV in stock. Simply go to dealsinthed.com, find the pre-owned vehicle that you love, and subtract $1,000 from the price. It's that easy. The final step? Drive your TDC listening ass to Zott Ford and Holly and take delivery of your sweet new whip.
They should be offered a choice of reusables and disposables. Their preference for internal or external products should be honored OUR. I didn't know they had reusables.
Yeah, the cup, remember? We talked about the cup.
Yeah, I forgot about the cup.
I had no idea the cup was in use.
See-
It's just incredible.
Forgot about the cup. I was picturing someone wringing one out, like in the sink, you know? And I was like, God, they're not that expensive.
I don't know. Seems to be bigger fish to fry, Mike.
Yeah, I agree. But I'm sorry, ladies, that you have to go through that. Isis, are you ready for Day in
Sure.
History?
This day in history with Big E.
I will say though, this is a interesting day. You can have the music. That's okay. I will say though, this is more of a calling out to a quote unquote first in the history of humans. This guy Thomas Stevens is credited for being the first human to bicycle around the world, and he started.
Wait, not possible.
Now, can you blow your nose into the microphone
Sorry.
one more time?
Sorry.
I understand that, but you know, the thought is, I guess, that he's not bicycling on the ocean, but he's bicycling steaming places and then bicycling other places, I guess.
Yeah, you asked the other day, how do we get there, Mike, in terms of Kauai?
Yeah.
You were thinking, how the hell do we get there? Do we get there by plane, by boat? You don't get there by bicycle. Definitely
Yeah,
not.
Never. I mean, unless it
understand that.
freezes. If we could get a nice freeze.
Pacific Ocean.
Yeah, Pacific Ocean from.
The reason that I think this is kind of, there's some shenanigans with this being him credited for this, but he is credited for
In
being
what
the
year?
first person.
In what year?
1887.
So he was doing it with the big wheel in the front, little wheel in the back?
Good
He
question.
had to
eh?
have been.
Shit!
Look,
El
does
Nino's
that
coming
freeze-
through pretty soon.
If that freezes solid all the way, I wouldn't mind doing that, biking across there. But
This is the thing. There's more than.
No way! He did it with a Greenfield Village bike.
dude, I don't buy this.
Bullshit!
There's no way to prove this. This
What
dude
if he
just
fell
said it.
off? What if he fell off in the middle of a prairie?
By the way,
get back on?
this bike that with the giant wheel, small wheel, was also known as the penny farthing.
What?
And it was came after these two coins in where is it? In the British coins. There's two British coins, a penny and a farthing coins, and one is much bigger than the other. So people, it was kind of a nickname. It was a bicycle, but that was a nickname of this particular bike that he
Interesting
did.
fact.
He did
So
not.
they could have called it a silver dollar and a dime.
Yeah.
You know.
But he was from England.
Okay.
Originally from England.
So you don't believe this happened at all?
No. I believe it happened. I just think there's a lot of bullshit in some of this claim that he rode around the entire. No, it's obviously not. But
Schwinn.
where was it? Shit, what was the name of the thing? Outing magazine, I guess, or I'm sure it wasn't
The
a
gay
magazine.
the
But
gay publication? Outing magazine sponsored him. Wow. Okay. Cool.
no, but you're right.
got a lot.
So back then, a lot of people live in their same little areas. Obviously, a lot of people don't travel to see other things. So it was a big deal, I guess, that this guy was doing it. So yes, there are some publications give him money to kind of be a correspondent and go and take pictures. It is kind of interesting, though. I mean, there are periods like.
Wait, so how did he get? Not only does he have the big fucking wheel in front of the bike, right? He's got to carry around a big fucking camera. Like one of those ones with the big tripod
I don't
and
think
everything
he has
that you have
cameras.
to
I
focus
think
in
he's
on
just
something for
writing.
like 3 minutes at a time for it to take a picture?
No, I don't. No, he's just writing.
That's why they never smile.
Yeah.
It's too hard to get that smile and hold it for that long.
He actually left. When he left originally, by the way, he just had socks, a spare shirt, a raincoat that doubled as a tent and bedroll, and a pocket revolver.
You sure this isn't a deleted scene from Forrest Gump? This doesn't even seem believable.
It's true, I guess. I don't know. There's several articles about it. His bike, I will say this, his bike, the company preserved his bike in remembrance of the first person
Yeah,
that...
I know. I've seen it on Greenfield Village.
Yeah.
We've all seen
Where
it.
is it now?
Well, they held it at their shop in England until World War II, when it was donated to scrap. Donated to a scrap drive to support the war effort. Like, no offense,
Holy
dude.
what did you
shit.
get for
Like,
that? 30 cents?
I know.
30 cents maybe?
Couldn't you just, if it really was this symbolic thing, how much did you really get for the
Yeah,
war
they
effort?
took a vote in the office and was like, dude, this is bullshit. It's literally scrap metal.
Yeah, and so
Nothing.
anyway, so there are, I will say, back in this time, though, there are situations, when he's going through China, he doesn't...
China.
They just, some people just see him as, it's just
Johnny Spirit?
No, they see it... no, they see it as a
Look
total,
at that goofball.
Oh, nice. Look at that dude.
There's a riot with the French at the time, so there's he
This
does
is a
have to deal with
spirit-esque effort.
Oh, yeah.
he does have to deal with people just trying to rob him and whatnot, and then also he doesn't speak the language, so he's trying to go on that bike. He's trying to, and this is actually
How do you explain yourself, man?
Yeah,
this
you
is
don't.
an image right here that's supposed to be a representation of him over in Asia and whatnot.
Oh, my God.
But
Yeah, he's in the Orient
he
for sure.
doesn't know how to speak the language in any capacity. So he's just trying to find
And he
people.
pulls
how
up
to,
on that stupid machine.
Hello, ladies. Nice to meet you. I am on a trek around the world with giant weir and wee weir.
And if I were really to
They've
read
got
some of this,
white face paint on and sticks in their hair. What the fuck?
I can't really remember. I did not, but
Just ignore him. Maybe he'll go away soon.
I did not commit this to memory. But if you really go through but you guys kind of looked at the journey. Most of the journey that I'm reading just explains. Well, then he rode 500, 300 miles, and then he got on a steamship.
Let me ask you this: why the loop from Constantinople back through Tehran, back through Constantinople?
I think
Yeah,
that
that's
I believe
bullshit.
is that where Afghanistan is?
Constantinople.
Honestly, is that
Constantinople.
where Afghanistan is? Because I believe he got into Afghanistan for about 10 days at one point and then got kicked out.
Yeah, he did a massive loop.
So I'm assuming. I guess I don't know where Afghanistan
he
is.
really
to be honest with
fucked
you.
up, didn't he?
Well, he knew he was going to be called on the fact that all the way across the Atlantic
So he's
into
just trying to
Tokyo to
log some miles.
Hong Kong, all the way to Calcutta. He makes a short trek from Karachi to Calcutta, but then there's just this. He knew he had to pick up some laps.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why he did that lap around.
We do always laugh at stuff like this sometimes when we joke.
But
about
honestly, Jay, you're right, because he came this way, right? He comes from London, from Paris to Vienna, Constantinople, and then he does this trek in a loop, right?
Yeah.
And then boats all the way. Dude, you're here. Why wouldn't you just
I know.
cut over to Karachi?
Makes no sense.
Dude, yeah, he's even dumber than we thought. Tom, you're a moron.
maybe not two more not little things necessary, but it is funny what he would speak sometimes when he'd roll into town. The the bike club would be a big deal. Like, this guy is riding into town on his bike. And for one, he'd be
was
asked,
hot shit.
He'd be asked to give demonstrations of his bike.
Would he do wheelies and stuff?
I don't know what that means. Like,
Did he have mag wheels or
did he
pegs
just
on his
drive
bike?
around in circles? I mean, there was like literally.
Yeah, see? Come see the amazing Thomas Stevens on his bicycle.
And so somebody did, one of the presidents of one of these bike clubs did say about him, though, they thought he was really more like a Jules Verne character, and he uses some other guy that I don't recognize. But they kind of say that they think that he is remarkable in the sense that in this time and age, he's not just out there with like a shotgun going into new places and trying to convert people to like his religion.
Yeah.
He is just doing it on some level of the sense of like exploration.
Yeah.
And to see
He's a
new
lovable
things.
idiot.
Yeah.
Just leave him be.
Idiot
He doesn't
abroad.
want your gold. He's not trying to rape and pillage. He's just going to come through on his bicycle.
It's remarkable that piece of shit bike held up, though. You know.
Well,
what
I mean, obviously he had to make repairs. Like when you mentioned Constantinople, he did
think he was
rest
gonna
there
get
for a
that.
while and replace parts on the bike.
I would think.
Yeah, he probably broke a spike or two at least. Spoke or two.
There was it's said to have at one point because he didn't know the train schedules. This is one like you had print. Now this seems like, again, I would say I would believe someone else if some of these other things. Like I think he fudged this whole thing, and I don't even think he should have credit for this. For
But
one,
yet here we
so
are
I'm
talking about it.
Well, I'm
Yep.
calling him out. I want
History Day.
I want him to. It's marked in the history books as this is the.
What did we
a
pass
fact.
up in this day in history to
I don't
get
know.
to Tom?
But here's the point. It's claimed that at one point, because he didn't know the railroad things, he was on like a...
Jay, bing this day in history really
on
quick.
Really quick. On a bridge, and like all of a sudden a train was like, he's halfway in the bridge and the train's coming. So he had to like
he
hang
gotta hightail
down.
it?
He had to like hang off of the bridge with his bike.
Oh, so he's a hero too.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Because no one else was there but Tom on this bridge, right?
Well, he's not even really a hero. It's just, actually, if anything, if he hadn't got off the bridge, he would have been a pain in the ass for the train because they would have drilled a person.
I know. I don't think that happened, though.
That's
You
my
would see
point.
it or hear that coming a mile away. But, of course, in Tom's story, he's got to ditch the bike for a second and hang for an hour under this bridge, to not get run over. Like, he's building himself up.
Right, yeah.
He's got to come home with some wild stories, fighting off coyotes in the wild. And
I don't know. I still think, I thought it was really interesting, but mainly once I investigated into it, as I said, I believe that I think this should be taken away from his name. He shouldn't have this on his Wikipedia page, is I guess what I want to have happen. I think his Wikipedia page should be fixed. He did do some things after that. I can't say whether those are true or not, but I think this should be off Thomas Stevens' Wikipedia page.
So why don't you go fix his Wikipedia
Maybe I
page?
will.
yeah, go call bullshit on it.
Maybe I will.
Just put quotes around bicycle.
And then
everything.
and after every sentence that and claim he makes, just put in parens bullshit, and then just save it. It'll just have bullshit written all over his page.
Samuel Colt sold his first revolvers to the U.S. government today in
I'd
1847.
love to hear about that.
Yeah, poet T.S. Eliot dies in London.
Get out.
Yeah.
It's not T.S.
Who is that, Mike? What's his
T.S.
favorite poem?
Fuck, I love T.S.
Which
Eliot.
one?
He's referenced
President
in songs.
Nixon refuses to hand over tapes today in 74.
Shit.
Utah entered the Union today in 1896.
Wow. Wow, that's big.
The Boston Strangler struck again in
Whoa,
1964.
he didn't strangle
Oh,
again.
he did indeed.
Wow.
Not interesting.
Let's see. GM announced its electric car in 1996.
It's a lot harder to strangle a human to death than you would think. Try it sometime.
I have heard that.
It's hard, dude. Like the movies make it look easy.
Dude,
but
I know.
if you were to really get in tight on East Throat and really just start fucking choking the life out of him, you've got to hold that for a long time. He will hold out longer than you think. He will.
It's just like
Nah,
in
he'll
movies when they
fold.
punch people to the head, and it's like they have they're just like, boom, boom. Like, dude, a
Dude,
human head is very...
more remarkable to me is how people recover from punches in the head.
Oh
Like,
my God.
Getting punched
It's
in the head is no
unreal.
joke. Getting kicked in the head
stinks.
is no joke.
Yeah.
These guys that take 5 of those and just get back up and they're fine.
Yeah.
It's,
I know it's a movie, but it's like, dude, honestly, that's some of the reasons I don't like action movies. Because you know what?
Yeah,
It's
it's
too
absurd.
suspended.
Yeah.
too suspended.
One thing, though, if you ever shoot E in the chest, he's going to be alive a lot longer than you think. It's going to take a while for him to die, unlike a headshot. And if you try to choke him out, be prepared.
What if I shoot him in the chest and then choke him out?
Faster, but still, I'm just saying, make sure your hands are ready because it's going to be a lot of fucking sustained pressure. Just fucking die, fuckface, die! Takes a while.
Got to tell you about the Hamlin Pub. 5 locations, Clarkston, Chesterfield, Rochester, and 2 in Shelby Township. Hamlin Pub offers a wide selection of craft beers. Most are brewed right here in Michigan. They have great happy hour specials Monday through Friday, 2 to 6 p.m. and half off appetizers on Monday. Check out all their specials at all 5 locations. Go to HamlinPubs.com for more info. And yes, Mike, we do have some email.
How we doing for email?
Curtis asked, Jay, is Big E's show on the 4th at CJ's Sandbar in downtown Lake Orion? We're living as a vacation.
Oh,
is
that's
it CJ's
tonight.
Sandbar? I know where CJ's is. I
Yeah,
didn't know
that
it was
was
CJ's Sandbar.
Yeah,
That's where you're going tonight?
that is where it is.
Oh, Jesus. I may have to stop in.
No,
Yeah,
you don't
you
have to.
better.
Don't worry about that. You don't have to. You're
You
busy.
doing some new
You
stuff
got, you
tonight?
got a wife and kids, Jay. Say hi to them.
Yeah, it's right down the
I
street.
would go there for sure. Yes.
You don't need to do that.
Well, you could, Mike. I mean, it's not that far from
Well, it's
yeah, what does
far
that
for me.
mean, dude? Like,
Boy, I would go
like,
there
just
for sure.
Get on 75 and go.
If I was you and 2
Okay.
minutes down the
Okay,
road,
then you
I
should
would
have
go
said
for
it.
sure.
Although I don't want you to go anyway. So
If you were playing in Franklin at our lovely little restaurant
Grill.
down the street, the Grill, I would go to that.
I
Jesus, how did you do last night, speaking of comedy?
actually went pretty good. I was
Meaning
no, I did.
the patrons laughed?
Yeah.
Good.
You weren't tomatoed?
No, it was a good. It was actually for me. It was actually kind of interesting. Did I mention I was? I don't know if I mentioned this, but that was my first hosting like gig last night, where I did like
You
the
emceed
first.
it?
Yeah, I did the first little bit, then it brought some people in. So that was. That
I
was
guess
fun.
the trick there is to be a cordial host, but also make the people laugh, and you were able to pull that
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
Not
that
an
is-
easy trick to pull off.
No.
You are right. Like
For somebody like E, especially, you know what I mean? A buffoon.
you're not supposed to be the best guy on the night.
Oh, okay.
Like,
So you got that. No
Right.
problem.
No, I-
but then
you
you're
killed it
also
as a
supposed to be
host.
professional and introduce people in a
right. I
Nice
did
way.
mess up someone's name, but
I hate that.
I know.
That's
go fuck
that
or
dude-
whatever.
That bothers me when I see a host and it's like, coming to the stage next, Eric Fatty from
He's
the Detroit
super funny.
asked
You're
him
gonna love
3
this
ti-
guy.
I know. I
from
asked
the
him.
podcast Detroit. And you're like, really, dude? You couldn't get Eric Fatty from the Detroit Cast show? Like,
I don't know. I
okay.
was nervous and honest.
What was his name?
I don't even remember it now.
John Smith.
No, I was nervous. I actually asked him 3
Smite,
different
Smith,
times.
Whatever.
Smite H.
You know what?
Smite
Smith.
Smith. Coming to the stage next, Joan Smitty.
I know. I felt really, dude. I apologized like 10 times after. I asked him like 3 times. It was I don't know what it was. I could not remember how to say it. And I will say I was nervous more so than normal. It was just not. It was the first time I ever had to be like. I don't know. First time I've ever been counted on to remember the names, and I did.
Oof.
Not making an excuse. It was still
Yeah.
unprofessional.
That's
but
their fault for counting on you.
Yeah, the key phrase
Really.
where they're counting on.
Counting on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck both of you.
Dude, they
You're
should have
such an
seen that
asshole.
coming. Seriously, they should
You
have.
know what? I would love to see you fucking do some of this
You'd love to
stuff.
see Mike do that? You don't
Yeah.
think Mike could pull that off?
You don't think I can host something?
Want to take that back, E?
No, I don't.
You're going to stand by that.
Yeah.
Coming to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome John Smith. See? Easy.
Okay, sure. I don't think so, but
BJ writes in, you were talking about how everyone from Roseanne is looking better. You know, we had that story about Roseanne, the show coming back.
They all looked so bad before. It was
Yeah.
shocking that 30 years later,
Yeah, they would-
they'd look okay.
You're right.
That's all.
You are right, says BJ. The pick is this pick, which E, if you want to throw that over on the YouTube, is Goodman at Mardi Gras in 2001, and that was before he was really fat. He is drunk, sweating profusely, and obviously thrilled to run into fans. I'm the dork standing stage right.
the black guy?
Dude, that's not stage right, and unfortunately, that's what struck me too. I was like, sweet, we got another black dude listening.
Hell yeah.
But stage right would be the other side.
Yeah, I know.
So BJ's the guy with the sweet cut-up T-shirt tucked into cargo pants. Hell yeah. Right?
Wow.
Look at that guy, huh? John. It's 2001, though. Give him
Yeah,
a break, right?
that's a
You're
good
right.
look.
You're right.
Goodman looks. Was that when he was doing like the Babe Ruth movie? Probably.
Probably. Yeah, he's... God, he looks like a mess, doesn't he?
Yeah.
What you expect? John Goodman and Mardi Gras? Like,
Yeah.
that's exactly...
Oh, dude.
That guy is
Sweaty
so
and-
recognizable, you know?
Yeah.
There's nobody else.
He's great too. I love John Goodman as
That's
an
the
actor.
funny thing.
don't
Like,
mind
dude,
him.
he's in a lot of things that I really like, actually, but I know what you mean.
I think he got kind of weird when he was doing the whole Blues Brothers thing and trying
Yeah,
to tack
yeah,
himself
yeah.
into that.
Yeah.
Like, dude, you're not an original Blues Brother, and he's like trying to do the whole dance and the
Yeah.
singing thing. He got really into singing, which was weird.
Didn't he go on an actual like tour?
Probably.
I think he
I
did.
I
Yeah,
saw
a
the
Blues
Blues
Brothers
Brothers,
tour.
at NASCAR one time, and I was like, I remember even, and I don't know anything about the Blues Brothers, and I still was like,
Yeah, it was
how
like
are they-
beyond tongue in cheek
Yeah.
for him. It seemed. It
Yeah.
seemed like he really got into it and thought he was a really good blues singer.
I remember at the time, like back in those days
and
where
then-
that picture was taken, thinking like, well, we're not going to have John Goodman very long.
Yeah.
It's shocking to me that in 2017,
Yeah,
he's
you're
still
right.
around and doing stuff.
And then don't post this. This is just for your enjoyment.
Oh, wow.
That was provided by BJ, a Mardi Gras pick for E.
God,
Of
those
course,
are nice.
Titties.
Those are nice.
James writes in beekeeping and
Saw those.
such.
Do we know any more about those titties?
No,
Do we have any follow-up at
dude,
all?
They're the most random of titties in
at this,
2001.
Mike.
Look at the bangs and everything.
Yeah.
He's taking a picture for later. He's going to whack off to those titties.
Fuck yeah, he
I
is.
might.
They're not the perfect titties. I prefer a
pretty nice,
little
though.
more size to them, but they're great. I mean,
Everything about this says
structurally, they're put
say.
together well, right?
Yes. Yep.
On balance, the nips are in a good spot.
I'm almost shocked they're not pierced in that era.
It's 2001, man.
Yeah.
No, but that was kind of when people were
Yeah,
doing
it's-
nipple and like nose. Remember, tongue piercings were so big right around then, kind of.
See, when I think nipple piercing, I think 1990. That's
Yeah.
when,
I know tongue
Mike and I were
piercings.
doing it.
I don't know. I thought that was an era. I thought they.
And it's just nice to see someone in 25 not even have to work to be that skinny, you know? It's just,
That's
that is
great-
what it
that's a
is. They're
great
just
point.
naturally skinny.
James writes in beekeeping
They'll
and
say
such.
that forever, right, Mike? Stay like that forever.
Sure.
Dear King and Company, Kelly Bees out of Kentucky. They are very helpful with questions and whatnot. I, however, never got beyond the research phase. And then he suggests War and Peace, Animal Farm in 1984, as well as Mein Kampf. I'm not reading the fucking
Why
Nazi book.
not read Mein Kampf?
Dude, I have limited time. I'm not wasting my time reading Hitler's book.
Why not?
You read Mein Kampf.
I have multiple
believe
times.
that. I totally believe it. It's
I've
probably
got an
by
autographed copy.
Yeah, it's probably by your nightstand.
It's autographed by Goebbels, but, you know, as close as I could get.
Moreover, Tim is spot on in his grievance
Spot.
concerning searching for auto parts. We read that yesterday. It's
yeah.
boner fide, says James. I have never, ever gotten the search results I search for either. I could chuck the whole intraweb into space on a daily basis. Most recently searching how to fix my washer on YouTube. Closest result, how to clean the lint trap on a front loader. What the fuck are you guys doing right? And Tim and I are doing right. Well, we're using Bing.
Obviously, yeah.
Yeah, we're not
Dude, I do-
Googling shit.
Yeah.
We're Binging shit.
I honestly do not have that problem where I can't find
I don't either,
what I'm
man.
looking for. Like, it's there. What I'm looking for, I can usually find.
Aaron writes in, breaking news. This relates to what we discussed at the outset of episode 870 yesterday.
Okay.
Of course, Last
870.
Man on Earth is what we hit right out of the bat.
Yeah.
Out of the gate. Out of the gate.
Out of the gate.
We talked about Last Man on Earth,
Yeah.
a very old show, and we sort of presented it like it's new to us. And
It is
so
new to us.
We
just
were
started
taken
watching
by it.
Yeah.
Aaron says, wow, thanks for informing us about a 3-year-old hit TV show. Are there any shows you know that might take a bunch of unknowns and make them idols of America? Or maybe any historical depictions of medieval with times with dragons and tons of dicks? Or possibly any cartoons about kids from Colorado?
Aaron sounds like
I
an
would
old
say-
man to me.
yeah.
TV is not like that anymore, and the reality is people regularly,
Get at
kids
me.
like
Get at me.
regularly kids like your kid all of a sudden found friends. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
I'm just saying, TV is kind of.
And to answer his question, I do. American Idol. He should look into American Idol and a thing on HBO called Game of Thrones. It's
What
exactly.
about South Park?
And South Park. That's
Yeah.
a good one. Yep. Just check those out. Ron.
Jim writes in, Podfathers, I had to write to settle the scalp reduction debate. I am not queeging you when I say Jay is absolutely right. Sorry, Mike. From birth, I always had this bald patch on my head about the size of a $50. So $50, we're not talking Susan B. Anthony decagon
Okay.
shape, but we're talking $50. Kennedy $50.
Are we talking?
Picture it?
Well, yeah. It kind of is like who's the guy that did Talk Soup that had just like that one little tiny
Oh,
gray
yeah.
swatch
That was
there?
weird.
Yeah. Is it like that? You
No,
mean like
he
he's
says
just got
it's
a
bald.
It's bald. I know, but I mean size wise, I'm picturing.
Yeah, it was about $50.
Okay.
When I turned 30, I finally saw a dermatologist about it and was told it was sebaceous naivus. You pronounce it because I cannot. And not a birthmark. Since there was a slight chance for cancer, I had it removed. To remove it, they cut intersecting ellipses in your scalp to remove
Yeah.
like a football shape. Oh,
Yeah, that's the move.
football shaped patch of skin and then sew up the skin to bring the hair together. I still remember the tearing, prying effort and sounds from my scalping
No.
as you only get a numbing agent and you were wide awake this whole time.
Oh, I wouldn't do it no matter what. I don't care about the cancer.
Knowing the wicked cowlick this created, I can only imagine the mess that is the Donald's head.
Oh, imagine doing that with a full head. I'd have to be knocked out for sure.
Mike, we'll save the rest for Monday.
Sounds good. I can't stop staring at these titties now. Are you doing the same, E?
Yes.
All right.
I wasn't even listening to
Not
whatever
that
that last
great,
email
dude.
was.
I know, but
I
dude,
like
it's
seeing
just
titties.
a pair of titties.
Yeah,
I mean,
I
it's just.
understand.
I mean,
And they're-
as look around the room of everything we've got to look at.
It's the best thing I'm looking at in this room
There's
right
a
now.
pair of titties on this.
Yeah,
It's
they're pretty
great.
Did you notice I did not grab the breast implant?
I
today?
almost said something,
Yeah.
but I saw you white knuckling it the whole show. You were dying to do it. You guys have a great weekend. Everybody else have a great weekend. We'll be back next week. Thank you for joining us this week. We'll see you guys soon.
You've been listening to the Detroit Cast with your hosts, Mike and Jay. From all of us at Radio for One Studios, thank you for listening. And as always, thank you, Detroit.
Listen, you guys.